Okay, let's dive right into this explainer with a really stark reality check. Quote, ICOs made millionaires in 2017 and felons in 2019. Look, token fundraising is arguably the single most powerful, but also absolutely the most dangerous tool in tech right now. Do it right, you bootstrap a massive global network of totally aligned users with zero dilution. But do it wrong, well, you're going to end up sued, hacked, or literally community-owned to death.
So welcome to this explainer. Today we are completely stripping away the crazy crypto hype. We're going to look at a source that essentially acts as the ultimate survival guide for Web3 fundraising. We're breaking down what actually works, and more importantly, what gets founders into massive trouble.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start in the Web3 graveyard, explore the new capital stack, navigate launch day, dissect legal community rounds, and finally survive the post-raise reality.
All right, moving right into Section 1, the Web3 graveyard. Basically, a history of hype.
Looking at the history of Web3 fundraising, you instantly see this brutal, constant cycle. Insiders get rich, and retail gets absolutely wrecked. Back in 2017, we had the ICO Wild West, right? Teams raised billions with literally just a white paper and a flashy website, only to get slammed by SEC lawsuits when the hype completely collapsed. Then, in 2019, initial exchange offerings, or IEOs, tried to fix this by using centralized exchanges as gatekeepers. But honestly, retail buyers were still just exit liquidity for dumping VCs. By 2021, decentralized offerings, IDOs, promised fairness, but those were instantly overrun by bots. And today, in 2024, we're in the points and airdrops meta, which is suffering from massive Sybil attacks where farmers just spin up thousands of fake wallets to game the system. The takeaway here? Fixing the acronym doesn't fix the economics. If the game theory is broken, the project dies. It's really that simple.
Okay, on to Section 2, the new capital stack. Equity versus tokens.
So there's this massive contrast between the old Web2 equity model and the new Web3 dual cap table. In the old days, you spun up a Delaware C-Corp, gave maybe 20% to a VC, and everybody understood the rules. Stock simply meant to claim on future profits. But Web3? It introduces two completely separate capitalization tables. Take Uniswap Labs as the prime example. They raised traditional equity from VCs, and that equity owns the front-end software and the actual trademark. But they also have a token, Uni, which governs the protocol itself. So the company and the network are completely separated.
The absolutely crucial point here is a simple rule of thumb. Equity is for owning the company, and tokens are for owning the network. You really should just raise equity to build your software infrastructure. Like if you're building a SaaS product or a regulated banking app, stick to equity. You only introduce a token when you actually need to decentralize, bootstrap network effects, and reward your users. If you just slap a token onto a traditional SaaS company, you're literally adding massive legal risk for absolutely zero operational gain.
Let's jump to Section 3, navigating the launch, mechanics and bots.
Launch day is, without a doubt, a total war zone. If you aren't ready, mempool bots are going to scan the waiting area for transactions just to front-run you. Then you have sandwich attacks, which essentially trap your real users between automated trades, giving them absolutely terrible prices. And snipe bots? They'll buy up the supply on the very first block just to dump it a few minutes later. Your retail investors end up paying massive gas fees, getting zero tokens, and instantly flocking to Twitter to label your project a scam. Total nightmare scenario. But, thankfully, you do have defenses. Tools like Liquidity Bootstrapping Pools, or LBPs, start the token price artificially high and let it drop over a few days. This completely neutralizes snipe bots because buying block 0 essentially guarantees they lose money. Other strategies the source outlines include a 99% tax for the first 5 blocks, whitelisting KYC wallets for the first hour, or even doing a pullback launch where liquidity is added totally unannounced. Bottom line, you have to program your launch day just as carefully as your smart contracts.
Right. Section 4, legal community rounds. This is all about avoiding SEC trouble.
So, there are very specific, defined legal paths to raising funds. Just selling tokens directly to the public on a website? Yeah, that's usually an illegal security offering, and the SEC will definitely find you. If you really want a legal community round, you use regulation crowdfunding, or Reg CF, to raise up to $5 million in equity. Now, it is kind of slow and requires a ton of filings, but it's safe. Alternatively, you can sell NFTs, but only if they act purely as utility or memberships with zero promise of profit. And what about VCs? For them, use a SAFT, a simple agreement for future tokens, which legally locks up those tokens for accredited investors.
But honestly, the ultimate legal workaround highlighted in our source material is actually incredibly simple. Just don't sell tokens at all. Raise your equity through a safe to actually build your product. Go get real users. Then, maybe a year later, give the governance tokens away for free via an airdrop. Because the users didn't invest money expecting a profit from your hard work, it generally completely bypasses the SEC's Howey test for illegal securities. You get the decentralized network, and you stay out of the legal crosshairs. It's a win-win.
Moving to our final piece, Section 5, Surviving Post-Raise Reality, Surviving Year 2.
Please, whatever you do, don't be the next Luna. When you raise $50 million, your treasury management is exactly what dictates whether you survive a crypto winter. The source strongly advises ensuring your treasury is packed with 70% stablecoins and government T-bills. Seriously, do not keep all your funds in your native token. Think about it. If a brutal bear market hits, your token drops 90% and your entire treasury is in that token, your runway just vanishes overnight. Your devs quit and your project is totally dead. You have to guarantee yourself a solid 2-year runway in stables.
Furthermore, you absolutely must implement strict vesting steps for your own team. I mean, if you don't do this, your lead engineer might just get 1 million tokens on day 1, immediately quit, dump them all on the market, and completely rug your own project's liquidity. A standard schedule ensures a 1-year cliff. That means nobody, literally nobody, gets a single token until 12 full months have passed. After that, tokens unlock monthly over a 4-year duration. This perfectly aligns your team's incentives with actual long-term success.
And that brings us to a frankly terrifying number, 18. Beware the 18-month cliff. This is the exact moment when that 1-year cliff is passed, and suddenly both team and VC token unlocks start hitting the open market simultaneously. If you hit month 18 and you do not have real product revenue covering your operational costs, your project dies right there under the massive weight of that sell pressure. You have to plan for this moment way before you even launch.
Really, this all boils down to a basic founder's decision tree. And it starts with the most critical question of all. Do you actually have a product and real users? Because if you have no product, you raise equity. Full stop. A token sale without a working product is honestly just a massive regulatory target painted right on your back.
Okay, next, ask yourself, does a token actually make the product 10 times better? If you are building a straightforward software-as-a-service company, or maybe a digital agency, adding a token doesn't magically improve your product, right? It just adds a huge amount of legal risk for zero actual gain. Then you need a brutal reality check. Can you survive 2 years with absolutely zero token price bump? You have to ask yourself if your protocol can actually pay the AWS bills and the developer salaries during a deep, dark bear market. Relying on your native token's price going up is definitely not a revenue model.
Finally, is your team mentally ready for 24/7 Discord chaos? The second you launch a token, you instantly acquire 10,000 totally anonymous bosses. Are you genuinely prepared to manage an angry mob calling you a scammer and demanding refunds the moment your token inevitably dips 30%? Because it will happen.
Look, if you take absolutely nothing else away from this entire explainer, please remember this core maxim. Raise equity to build. Raise a token to decentralize. If you are launching a token just to fund the building of your app, your incentives are completely misaligned from day one. And honestly, you aren't going to make it.
The source material leaves us with this final, really powerful thought. Fundraising in Web3 isn't just about finding new ways to print cash. It's about finding new ways to get genuine owners. Do it wrong, and you end up with massive token dumps, SEC subpoenas, and a totally dead Discord server. But if you do it right, you can attract a global network of 100,000 evangelists that will literally outlive you. So, after seeing the mechanics, the graveyard, and the harsh legal realities, are you truly ready to rethink how you bring owners into your network? Keep building, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.